And I remember reading that you wrote about him, Doug, years ago, that there was this boogeyman in the mountains with a country I'd never heard of, with a name I couldn't say, but you were right there with them. What was the lore about Gennady Головкин early on?
Well, people didn't know his name, and they didn't even know his nationality. People were calling him the Russian. Sometimes they call him the Ukrainian. You know,
he's bi.
He was known as Superman. We call him Superman, and he was in there with some of the toughest hombres of Southern California. Alfredo Angulo, who was a junior middleweight contender at a time.
And Pedro Angulo?
Yeah, Pedro Angulo, and a bit of a gym bully, a guy who roughed up his sparring partners, and he couldn't do anything with Gennady Головkin, and that's when I first heard of him. There were some gym rats who gave me a call from Big Bear saying that there is a guy who is not only strong and powerful, but is just technically sound all around. And I couldn't wait to get a look at him. And luckily for me, I know Abel Sanchez. I gave him a call. This is in spring of 2011. And I said, hey, let me know when he's sparring. Let me know when he's starting camp. And Abel Sanchez told me, hey, he is in camp. He's going to fight former junior middleweight champ Kasim Uma. And you're going to love this. He's sparring with the young Mexican champion, Saul Alvarez. Everybody wasn't calling him Canelo at the time. He was just 20 years old, and he had just won the WBC title by outpointing Matthew Hatton in Orange County. And I was a little bit underwhelmed by that performance. But I thought Canelo did the right thing by switching his camp from Guadalajara to Big Bear, where it's very serious, as Triple G will tell you. And for what I saw when they sparred together, I saw really the future. I saw that Alvarez is more than just popularity. I thought it showed real character to get in with a beast like Головkin. And of course, I saw not just the physical strength and the punching power from Головkin, but I saw the technical proficiency. He reminded me of Kostya Tszyu, a great amateur champion and now a fighter who's enshrined in the Hall of Fame.
Beto Duran, that was the voice of Doug Fisher, now joined by Tom Loeffler with Triple G Promotions, one of the lead promoters in this, one of the men who was responsible for bringing the negotiations to the table and got him here. Tom, thank you for joining us. You just came from the ring. What's it like down there? I know it's hot, besides the fact that it's hot and everybody's sweaty, but this is cool. I've never seen anything like this.
I'll tell you, Beto, it's nice to be in the shade here with you guys.
You can stay as long as you want.
It's hot outside, but you see with the fan turnout, they don't care. They know this is a hot fight. This resembles the Southern California weather, and when you got two guys in the ring in their primes, like Triple G, like Canelo Alvarez, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. The true boxing fans realize this is the real fight. This is for not only middleweight supremacy, but supremacy of the sport of boxing.
That's the voice of Tom Loeffler. What's camp been like so far?
Gennady's motivated. He's so motivated. This is what he's been waiting for. This is what we've all been working for the last 6 years. This is the biggest platform he's ever fought on. This is the biggest challenge that Gennady's had. You know, it's just one guy in the ring with him in another arena that he'll sell out. But when you look at the platform, all the pay-per-view buys, all the international televised countries, the sponsorships involved in this fight, this brings his career and his platform to a whole different level, and I think the winner of this fight really needs to be recognized as the best fighter in the sport.
Well, there's no doubt of the magnitude and the significance of this matchup, but as you noted, this is by far the biggest stage that Triple G has fought on. I mean, he's been a headliner. He's been like an HBO staple, but this is a mega pay-per-view event that the entire world is watching. Is there any concerns that he might get caught up in the magnitude, caught in the spotlight?
No, Doug, he looks at this as just breaking new ground. It's another fight. You know, he's fought in 7 different countries, 22 different cities. It's a lot of people wonder or surprised he's never fought in Las Vegas, but he's saved this fight, the biggest fight in boxing, the biggest stage in boxing, for the fight with Canelo, and it really doesn't get bigger than this. This is much bigger than anything he's been involved with, and I think this is one of those fights that can take his career to a whole different level.
That's Tom Loeffler with Triple G Promotions. 7 countries, 22 different cities.
Yeah.
for the first time in Las Vegas. When I did my notes on this, I'm like, no, wait, I went back and looked at Boxer and like, there's got to be a Vegas fight because everybody fights in Vegas.
Yeah.
How's that going to be when you guys go there?
Well, I'll tell you, the first time he fought in L.A., he broke the record at the StubHub Center, so we're expecting a great reception. We've got fans coming from all over, from Australia, from New Zealand, from Europe, from Kazakhstan. Naturally, Canelo got all of his fans coming from Mexico, and it's going to be a tremendous. It's not even really considered a boxing match. It's considered an international sporting event. So,
that's exactly what it is. It's an event. It's not a circus like we just saw. This is an actual event. Now, being Mexican, I thought I knew geography pretty well, right? You know, but I've never seen so many Mexicans owning a Kazakhstan flag. Why does Triple G resonate with the Mexican fans?
Or a Triple G hat, or T-shirts that say Mexicans for Головкин. I mean, there's such the Mexican boxing fans are so educated because they're really the most passionate fans, and they respect the fact that Gennady fights in the Mexican style, but he also wants to put on a show for the fans. He doesn't want to dance around for 12 rounds. He wants to put on a show, just like Canelo's going to come out swinging, and that's what I think the fans are looking forward to, and that's what the Mexican fans especially appreciate about Triple G.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Tom. Mexican fans, obviously they support their own, but they have respect for the sport of boxing, and they have respect for fighters that give 100% and that understand that it's also entertainment, and that not only go out there to win, but go out there to put on a show. And if you can recall, and the guy you and I are both familiar with, Shane Mosley.
Yep, absolutely.
Before the U.S. media or U.S. boxing fans got behind Shane, it was the Mexican fans and the Mexican media that were following his career.
From all those legendary sparring sessions in Southern California gyms.
That's right. Yeah, you know what? Golovkin kind of reminds me of Shane in that he was a gym legend before he made his name as a boxing champion.
How did you find Gennady? Or how did you guys find each other?
You know, it worked where we had a mutual friend. He was having issues with the promoter he had in Germany. He wanted to come here to the United States. Sergio Martinez was fighting here. All the best middleweights were fighting here. He was training in Big Bear already. We had a mutual friend that introduced me to his managers, the Herman brothers, and it clicked right away. They understood the strategy that I laid out. My strategy really was similar to what we did with the Klitschko brothers, is build him in New York. Once he was a name in New York, was the media capital of the world. If you can sell tickets in New York, you can sell tickets anywhere. You know, when you have so many things to do in New York City, and then Triple G was selling out the theater at MSG first, and then the big arena, and then the strategy was to bring him in LA, and then he sold out the StubHub in LA, and just being bi-coastal, and then internationally, you know, he fought in Monte Carlo 3 times. So that was the strategy, and it's worked. And with a lot of hard work and with a lot of knockouts, we're here now on the biggest stage in boxing.
Yeah, a big part of that was Golovkin's willingness to fight more than twice a year. Yep. That activity and that consistency, and of course his style and his dominance in the ring. That's what really got the momentum building, and he hasn't slowed down.
He's averaged 3 fights a year. He had 1 fight the second year that he came over here, 2013. He had 4 fights a year, and the commitment and the sacrifice that a boxer needs to be away from their family, to be away from their friends, to be up in the lonely confines of Big Bear, that's a big commitment.
That's the voice of Tom Loeffler with Triple G Promotions. Been with Gennady a long time before Gennady was known around the United States. Bethel Duran, Doug Fisher with the public workout at LA Live in downtown Los Angeles. Thank you for watching us all over the world. Now, the boxing side, we hear so many different people write about it. We hear about the sparring sessions. I'm intrigued by the business side. Like I said this, he has a deal with Jordan.
Yeah.
Not just Nike, Jordan.
Yeah.
You know how many millionaire athletes would love to even just get some Jordan socks? Yet you guys have your own brand with him. How did that come up?
And not only is a deal with Jordan, I mean, he was a huge fan of Michael Jordan when he was watching the NBA in Kazakhstan, and he thought everyone with Jordan shoes must be the best players. And so it was always his dream. We worked very hard on that. It took over 2 years to finalize that deal, but we finally got the new Jordan merchandise. That's where your friend Steve Kim has always been saying, when are we getting the new Triple G Jordan merchandise? They just released it today. It's not online yet, but it should be within the next week. And it's a huge compliment. They made completely custom Jordan boxing shoes for Triple G. His outfit is Jordan, and we're very proud to be associated with the Jordan family.
Pacquiao had his own Nikes. You got your own Jordans. And
Yeah,
just
true.
put the perspective of There's about 4 or 5 baseball players that can wear Jordan brand.
Yep.
I think 5 basketball players that can wear Jordan brand, and 1 boxer. That's Gennady Golovkin, who's in the ring right now with Abel Sanchez. Abel Sanchez is going to be joined by Tattoo in a couple minutes. Tattoo is in the ring. You guys all know Tattoo. He gets the crowd hyped. Don't go anywhere, Tom. We're going to keep you here as Tattoo is going to interview Abel Sanchez as he's wrapping the hands.
He's throwing out merchandise to the fans.
Throw the merch out. Merch out.
Let us know what we're going to see right now from your undefeated middleweight champion. September 16th it goes down, but right here in LA, what fun stuff are you all going to give us?
Not very much. It's kind of hot out here to do much of anything. We're going to jump rope, do a little shadow boxing, hit a couple rounds of mitts, and that's it.
How great does it feel being this close? September 16th, the big fight, Supremacy, HBO pay-per-view completely sold out. How y'all feeling right now?
We're feeling great with this kind of support out here. Hopefully everything turns out the same way on the 16th, and we got a lot of fans watching a great fight.
Gennady, how great is it having all these fans? You see fans from Kazakhstan with the flag representing. They're here for you, the undefeated world champion. How great is it just being out here in LA, seeing all this love for Triple G?
I feel amazing. Awesome. First of all, thank you very much, all fans. Not only Kazakhstan, Mexican, United States fans. All fans, all world. Muchas gracias.
We've had fans out here since 6 a.m. waiting on Triple G and Canelo, man. It's got to be a great feeling. Are you ready for September 16th? Triple G, Gennady Golovkin.
Everybody ready. Everybody.
There it is. The workout is almost set to begin, ladies and gentlemen, for your undefeated middleweight champion of the world, Triple G, Gennady Golovkin.
Muchas gracias. Alrighty. All right. So, I mean, you made him trilingual now, right?
Actually,
he's got like 4 or 5 languages.
English is his 4th language, and Spanish is his 5th. Abel's teaching him some Spanish, and you see when he gets interviewed in the ring afterwards, and when he greets the fans, he always threw out a few words of Spanish just in respect to the Mexican fans.
I just like talking to Doug because he speaks another language. Not English, not Spanish. He speaks boxeo.
Yeah.
Joined by Tom Loeffler, Bethel Duran, and Doug Fisher. There you see Gennady Golovkin. He takes on Canelo Alvarez September 16th in Las Vegas. Tom, of course, with Triple G Promotions. When you have a fight of this magnitude, the demands on you are completely different than anything you've ever done. A world tour, you were in Mexico, you were in Europe, you were in New York, you're in LA. The constant demand, it's completely different for Gennady. How's he handled the different strings pulling at him?
You know, Gennady is one of those rare athletes that realizes he has to be 100% prepared for the fight, but he also needs to promote the fight. A lot of boxers...
No, you gotta be kidding me.
A lot of boxers go to camp and they shut down. They don't do any interviews. They don't do the promote. You know, look, you can be a great fighter, but if you're not exciting in the ring, if you don't promote the fight, that's half the battle right there. So you need the balance. There's also boxers that have over-promoted the fight and then not been prepared in the ring. But, you know, look, Gennady is a professional. He's done this, 37 times already as a professional, 350 times as an amateur. He knows what it takes.
That's okay. It's only one day, Juice.
You know, I always try to push the marketing and the promotion, but then Abel shuts it down when he feels, okay, now we got to focus on the fight.
I'm gonna pull on it.
And that's what he's doing. You see how he looks in the ring right now.
Especially today, we're a few weeks away from camp. As you're starting to cut down in weight, you're tapering down on your sparring. You want to be in that mindset, yet I mean, you're not going to get a real workout in today. You're going to put on display. This is for the cameras. This is for the fans. You have to do this, though. It's what happens. This is how you sell a mega fight.
He might be at 160 pounds after he gets out of the ring.
I think we all are.
With how hot it is today.
Yeah, Abel's not going to keep him in there too long. He made that clear before the start.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too long, but definitely enough for the fans to get a taste of his power, of Gennady's physique. A lot of people are saying Gennady's getting older. Some people said he looked overweight coming in the camp. I mean, Gennady's a consummate professional. He's 100% prepared, and he's going to put on a show for the fans, not only today, but on the 16th.
Now, the Summit in Big Bear, Abel Sanchez shuts it down. It's almost like you got to get a White House invitation to go up there. Now, Doug's been there, but the sparring partners, we don't...
We sneak Doug in the camp every now and then.
What I love about it is whoever's sparring with them, you don't know it. I haven't heard any names. What's it been like up there? Who's up there with you?
Abel's got a whole new batch of sparring partners. I'll drop one name that might surprise a few people. Julian J. Rock Williams is up.
Oh, very good.
And he's giving
junior middleweight
out of Philadelphia.
Breadman manages him, but Abel said that he's giving him tremendous work, and we're just excited by all the help. Gennady respects his sparring partners. He appreciates the help. He doesn't try to make it a competition. Yes. They realize he's just trying to get better for the fight. He's not trying to hurt anybody.
But that's Abel's,
and it really helps both sides.
That's Abel Sanchez's philosophy for the gym. He does not believe in gym wars. He believes in gym work, and he really operates the Summit like a school, like a boxing academy, which is exactly how a gym should be.
That sparring in Big Bear, you mentioned Julian J. Rock Williams, good gun fighter out of Philadelphia, only one loss. But years ago, Doug Fisher wrote about this boogeyman that was up there and this red-faced, freckled kid out of Guadalajara. Doug, you were there for that, weren't you?
Yes, that was, that was 6 years ago. It was like the early summer of 2011. And Alvarez was not really universally known as Canelo, and Головkin was unknown, and there was no Triple G chance or moniker or anything like that. And it was really good work. I was impressed with the kid. And I was kind of blown away by Головkin just because of his poise, his accuracy, everything about him. It didn't surprise me that he was a world amateur champion and 2004 Olympic medalist.
And that's another example of he has a lot of respect for Canelo. They worked with each other. He said, they were helping each other get ready for the fights. He had a lot of respect for how young Canelo was at that time.
He was 20.
And Canelo standing toe-to-toe with them. And that's just an example of how you can, 6 years later, now you have the biggest fight on the stage of boxing.
Now, Doug, what was that weight at? Canelo is barely getting to 160.
Yeah, Canelo had just moved from welterweight to junior middleweight. He had just won the WBC title from Matthew Hatton. That fight was set at a catch weight of like 151, and he missed the weight, and he was upset with himself. And so at the time he was training in Guadalajara, where, he's a big star, big fish, little pond. So he came to Big Bear where he was nobody. He was just another guy, and where he knew he was going to get some hard work and some good sparring. And Abel welcomed the sparring with Головkin because Головkin was going to fight Kasim Uma, a former junior middleweight champion. Right. And Abel told me that they liked to work with Canelo because of Canelo's hand speed, the quickness. They liked that. That was going to help him get ready for Uma.
Beto Duran, Doug Fisher, there you see Gennady Головkin working out in the plaza at LA Live, right across the street from Staples Center, where Michael Jordan has played. So there we go, the Jordan connection. We're joined by Tom Loeffler with Triple G Promotions. Now, Tom, when you travel around him, it's different because you know Gennady in, out of the ring, pretty much family the way you guys spend so much time together. What's the like when fans see him for the first time?
He's got such a welcoming personality. He's so humble. He respects the sport. He respects his opponents. And, he said, he's Gennady Головkin outside the ring and Triple G when he gets in the ring. You see his persona change fight night when he's in the locker room, when Abel's wrapping his hands. You see he gets very serious. But other than that, he's the nicest, most likable guy that you could hope to meet in the sport of boxing.
And he doesn't get a big head either. I mean, I've been in this sport. I've covered this sport for 20 years.
Wait. Boxers get big heads after they win?
I guess it happens. There's a guy who's just a local kid or whatever. They get big. They get an entourage. Yeah. And then, they're not as friendly as they were when they were coming up. And Gennady's huge international fame. He's the same guy. He's the same guy he was 6 years ago when I first met him.
Well, when I was watching 24/7, you see Triple G back at Kazakhstan at the same gym he started, and he's calling the kids out saying, "You guys are soft. We used to do this."
I like that.
I felt that I was going man, I want to go. All right, somebody hit somebody, do something. But same exact workouts. Yeah. But that foundation is huge for him too, right? His family, his base.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's popular all over the world. He's a rock star. He's a legend in Kazakhstan. I mean, it's just what he's accomplished, what he represents for his country. I mean, there's so much pride there. When his fights are shown, I think it's 8 o'clock in the morning, Kazakh time. Oh. You don't see any cars on the street. You don't see people walking on the sidewalk. Everyone's watching Triple G in the ring, and And it just, not only for his country, but for his family. I mean, everything that he represents is for respect in the sport of boxing.
That's Tom Loeffler with Triple G Promotions.
Thank you, Ruslan.
The negotiations for this. We saw the way it was announced, Cinco de Mayo, where you guys came out after Canelo just worked Chavez Jr. The negotiations. Was there ever a time when you thought, this ain't happening?
I always thought it was going to happen. Gennady was frustrated last year when Canelo vacated the title. I've been in close contact with Eric Gomez the whole time. He said that, look, we need to shoot for September 2017. In that time frame, Gennady sold out the O2 Arena in London. He sold out MSG against Danny Jacobs in a tough fight. And I think, what Oscar said, it's a bigger event right now. I mean, it's marinated for about a year, maybe 2 years, depending on who you talk to. But now it's at its climax, and this is really, from a banner year in boxing of 2017, this is really the premier event of the year.
And you mentioned working with the Klitschko's.
There he goes. Here's Triple G taking off his shirt.
Oh, 2 minutes.
He looks good.
Yeah, right. I don't think we have to worry about the weigh-in.
It's Abel unveiling his masterpiece right there.
Yeah, but I'm seeing a degree of definition in his muscles that I haven't seen at this point for some of his recent fights.
That's from a lot of hard punches he's going to be throwing on September 16th.
Fuck, it's hot out here.
Abel is mic'd up, so we'll be able to hear him. And you just heard him say, it's hot out here. His back is ripped. What are you doing? Picking up the mountain?
They do a lot of specialized exercises up there in Big Bear. Abel has
See
his
this
own
pillow?
system.
That's what Abel usually works him out with. He's not really much of a mid guy. He likes the pillow because he can really get some leverage in each shot and really work on his accuracy. It's not about looking flashy and throwing 10-punch combinations. With the jab and not always coming forward. And then with Abel, over the years, you saw him develop his left side and a nice hard jab and left hook to the body and working the left hook with the right hand and walking guys down, but not just walking him down, applying pressure in a way that he's cutting off the ring.
He said it's just for 1 minute, so 1 minute solid shots. That left. I mean, he went full shorts and everything. I love that.
The beautiful Gennady girl.
LA Live, the plaza in front of Staples Center. You're watching Triple G in his public/media workout.
Help me.
And that is power.
Stop.
See how ripped his back.
And the Capital Homies, they are all part of Canelo Triple G.
See that power, that pop. How many of those bags do you guys go through, Tom?
The great Abel Sanchez.
That's why it has a dent in the middle of that bag.
Training his undefeated middleweight.
Okay, a little shadow boxing, about 1 minute, and then we'll go.
Over 90 degrees at LA Live.
Michael Jordan.
Not that hot in Big Bear where he trains.
For Triple G.
Good lather for Gennady Головкин. Takes on Canelo Alvarez. Sold out T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. You can order online. Go to the Golden Boy website, ringtv.com. Check it out. Local cable providers. It's a 24/7 debut. An excellent first episode. Go to the Golden Boy website. You'll be seeing more exclusive footage as we lead up to September 16th.
Where's Tom?
Mexican Independence Weekend. Canelo and Triple G will go at it.
Look at the footwork in the ring. So that's that's what he's famous for: cutting up the ring, shortening the distance with his opponents.
He's got excellent ring generalship, excellent footwork, great balance. It's not stick and move footwork; it's close the distance footwork.
Evo, that's the guy that's announcing and he wants some of those shirts to toss out.
Now that is fundamentals, basics, the foundation.
Okay.
Too many guys now want to come up and do 18 punch combinations, and they skip this right here. Abel Sanchez keeps it real.
The cameras in front over here and
you don't see Abel slapping the mitts against Gennadi's gloves. Gennadi's actually hitting the mitts with the gloves, just like Emmanuel Stewart used to do. There was those are old school boxing coaches, and that's where you show the real power.
What's his day like during camp?
Gennadi's day? He's a machine up there. He wakes up about 6 o'clock in the morning. They go running about 6:15. He'll do his running and cardio till about 9 for 3 hours. He'll eat breakfast. He'll sleep. He starts training again about 3 until about 6:30. He'll eat dinner and he'll sleep. That's really the commitment, the dedication. A lot of fighters can't take the lifestyle and the discipline that it takes up there in Big Bear, and a lot of them go home after about a week.
Yeah, and they go AWOL. Absolutely.
Well, there's another thing there too, right? Where it's so old school. It's no women in the gym, right? No friends, no entourage.
That's true.
It's come in and you work, and that's it.
No BS pretend trainers. No conditioning coaches.
None of that. Well, actually, I spoke with David Benavides Jr., who's gone up to camp. And Benavides been in camp with different guys. He said he came away so impressed with the professionalism that Gennady Головкин showed.
That's right. David Benavides is up there training right now, and he's a tremendous fighter, Benavides.
20 years old, fighting for a title. He was in a camp recently, and he said that he tried running with Triple G. He wasn't invited to run with him, but he tried running alongside. He's like, whatever workout he was doing, he wanted to do the same one. Because why wouldn't you want to emulate the guy who's the premier of the 160? Crowd, a lot of them showed up since 8 o'clock this morning, fired up, hot, a smile on his face. Twin brother Max. Gennady Головкин, September 16th in Las Vegas, takes on Triple G. I want to thank Tom Law for joining us. Tom, once again, the September 16th, when you go at it, now that it's here, forget these guys. How excited are you?
This is a dream come true. I tell you, this is one of the big, this is probably the biggest event. Wembley Stadium was great with Klitschko and Joshua. That, a heavyweight championship at the soccer stadium. When you got a fight like this between the two guys, the two best middleweights in their prime at T-Mobile in Las Vegas, this takes everything to a whole different level. And this is why the fans are so excited.
As our colleague Steve Kim said, Tom Loeffler went radio silence. Good news for everybody. And sure enough, a couple of days later, Gennady Головкин, Canelo Alvarez deal was announced. Tom, I know you got to go with your fighter. Appreciate you joining us. Let's listen in right now.
All these fans out here, Triple G fans since 6 a.m. There's been fans lined up out here. How great is that feeling for a man like you?
Absolutely crazy. Thank you very much, everybody, for big support. Not only for me or for Canelo, for sport, for boxing sport, for true boxing fight, for true boxing sport. Thank you very much.
Triple G, there's been some of the best fights have ever came down in the middleweight division. Hearns, Hagler, Leonard, Duran. Of course, the great Bernard Hopkins reigning as undisputed middleweight champion. Where does Canelo Triple G rate with all these mega fights in your eyes?
You're absolutely right. So many great people, so many great champions, say in middleweight division, yeah. I think this is first step to history, the same, like a long time ago. Guys, we bring boxing position back. Remember, don't lose this fight, because this is true fight. True boxing fight, guys.
Before we let you go, Triple G, before I let you go, I know you got more interviews to do and so much more to handle today, this afternoon in LA. What would you like to say to all the fans? What would you like to say to the world of boxing September 16th for Canelo Triple G Canelo?
It's biggest day for boxing, you know. I respect Canelo team. I know him long time, and I know my style. Guys, thank you very much for support for us, you know, for boxing. I promise we bring amazing show, big gift, guys, for you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, LA, y'all give it up for the undefeated middleweight champion of the world, Gennady Triple G Головкин.
And there you see a Mexican flag with Gennady Головkin's name on it.
That's unprecedented.
Fans love him. He embraces the culture. And it's, I mean, a lot of people refer to like, oh, that's a marketing ploy. You know, you want to go and you get out there. I mean, how many people have come in with like Mexican colors or a sombrero patronizing them? But this is legit real when you're in Big Bear with Abel Sanchez and you go and you figure everything out, and here he is. Beth Duran, Doug Fisher, and now the third member of our crew, Jessica Rosales, inside the ring.
All right, thank you, Betho and Doug. I didn't even work out, and I'm sweating here, so I can only imagine how hot it was for you in the ring. But first and foremost, we are in that home stretch. The fight is coming so closely. What are you most looking forward to about seeing Canelo in the ring?
You know, today is nothing. Today just, we're coming for people, you know, just September 16th is biggest day, more hard, more warm, more amazing.
And so what makes Canelo your biggest challenge?
Yeah, Canelo, he is not regular guy, you know, he is extra. You know, last couple of years he looks very strong, you know. I'm still in middleweight division, long-time champions. Right now he is coming in middleweight division, you know. Who is number one in the middleweight division? See you September 16th.
We're about to find out, and of course, talking about that middleweight division, this is basically a very important fight, not only for boxing, but for that middleweight division. What do you think this fight kind of stands for and defines in that division?
You know, last couple of years we destroyed anybody. And right now, I don't know who is number 2, who is number 3, you know, I know just Canelo and me. Who win? Probably, you know, just, maybe, I don't know, people said like pound for pound king, you know, no, not for me. You know, this is the biggest fight for history, you know, for support for people, because biggest day to Mexico, you know, like Independence Day, September 16, you know, like Independence Day, September 16, you know. So many people watch this fight. You know, this is true fight.
So we had some people yelling that they love you over here. What do you want to say to them?
Thank you very much for support, not only for me, you know, for boxing, for my team, for this time, for today. I love you too, guys. Thank you. We're together.
Thank you so much.
Gennady Головkin with Jessica Rosales, a big crowd at LA Live as Gennady has just finished his brief workout. This was more for the fans, for the crowd to enjoy and get a chance to see this. Not too often you ever get to see a fighter like this put on the work. The Hollywood sign in Southern California. More from LA Live and Canelo Triple G public workouts in Los Angeles.
For the first time in a long time, you've got not just the boxing fans, you have the entire sporting world interested in this matchup. Champions always carried the sport of boxing, but 2 great fighters and 1 great fight. That is what's important.
I stand again poised at the dawning of my acclaim. The 2 who are my wings of ascension, where I last meet the sacred square. Boom! The flame has been passed, and the world, fire! I press my lineage on the 2 who would carry this flame. I see that it is well kept, but I demand more. That's not what we've expected. That's one of the best in middleweight history. I am boxing.
Canelo, be bold.
Be bolder.
Whoa. Come on, Canelo, be bold.
Be bolder as light.
You got it. Let me get in there.
Tecate Light, born